Hi guys, welcome back to the On the Fly podcast with me and my lovely friend here, Mardy. We've been away for an extra week on this one, just because I've been moving into a new house and not had internet for a little while. So amongst all the other stresses, I really wasn't able to. But we're back now with what is, I believe, going to be the last episode of season one, as we're calling it, the last Core Spirit episode. Are you excited for this one?
I'm really excited.
I
Uh,
it's nice to. It feels like a nice culmination of what we've got so far. Our first menu coming together with the last two of the 16 cocktails. We'll have made 16 cocktails by the end of today's recording. That's quite
It's
impressive,
a lot.
actually. Yeah,
Yep.
it is a lot. That's a pretty big menu, actually. I'd be quite impressed seeing that menu. Um, but yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. How have you been?
I've been doing well. I just started a new job, so I've just been getting adjusted to that. So that little extra week really helped me too. Um, uh, are you enjoying
Got a new
now?
microphone as well.
I do
Uh,
have a new
you can only
microphone
see like the
now.
corner of
Yes,
it on
hopefully.
your. Just kidding,
Yeah,
but it's
hopefully people can hear me a little bit better now. I got some feedback that I was a little quiet, so
yeah, it doesn't help that I'm also quite loud. So yeah, we balance out a little
we
uniquely,
do.
let's say. But yeah, it definitely it sounds better to me already. So
Thank you.
yeah, hopefully
Shout out to
it
my parents.
yeah for finding this one right.
Yeah. Right, right.
But yeah, it's because we're back at it. It has been a stressful couple of weeks with moving,
Hmm.
but I'm excited to talk about alcohol again. I've done plenty of drinking it over the last week or so.
Yeah.
I stepped back from the potential boxing event that I was doing just because I wasn't in the right headspace for it, and I feel like if there's anything I should only really do when I'm giving 100%, it's getting punched in the face. So
Well,
I decided
that's a
to,
good policy.
yeah, I wasn't able to give 100%, so wasn't willing to do it. Took a step back, but um, uh, therefore my previous, oh maybe I should drink a little bit less has maybe gone out of the window a little bit. I should probably still try and stick to it when I can, but uh, went out a couple of times over the weekend and it was messy, I'd say. Um,
Did you drink anything interesting?
uh, Lots of hooch, lots and
What
lots
else?
of hooch. Shots. I'm building up a tolerance to tequila, which is interesting because I've been getting given a lot of tequila. And I'm starting to enjoy Jägermeister more, which I'm sure you'll be happy to hear.
We all grow up and become Jägermeister fans. So,
I feel like from the ages of like 18 to 21, I grew a disliking to it through Jaeger bombs being thrown at me constantly, and now having it actually as a shot from a freezer, it's a different drink. So
yeah,
it's
100%.
definitely enjoying that more. Not enjoying the tequila more, I'll say, but a tolerance. Handling it better, let's say. Still not a choice. Still not something
Well,
I'm aiming for, but we move. Um, Work's been really busy. We've had Oasis in the city for the last couple of weeks doing their like big reunion concert, which means we've had lots and lots and lots of Oasis fans from worldwide
oh,
actually, but a lot of them
that
from.
sounds terrible.
It has been, yeah. um, I think as a band they're okay. I think as a
Mm.
fan base they're dreadful. Apologies if any Oasis fans are listening to us. I don't imagine they are though, because we're
Always,
not talking about lager. So, um, um,
it's always some guy that brings a guitar to a party.
hmm. I was a more I feel like the phrase I've heard the most from Oasis fans over the last 2 weeks is "How much?" Uh, so that's a
Same
that's a
guy.
that's a good one. Yeah. Um. But it's been busy. I worked a lot. Um. But it's been good. I like it being big. I'd rather it be busy than be quiet. In fairness,
Oh, I totally agree.
I need my brain to get powered up.
Yeah.
If it's not busy, my brain's like, well, we're not doing anything then, which is super helpful and not at all problematic. But that's something for a doctor to medicate me for, not for me to worry about while I'm on the bar. um,
100%.
yeah, it's been good. Have you done much bar crawling or bar working in the last couple of
You
weeks?
know, I haven't done any bar working, but I did go out last Friday to celebrate my first week of work. Not a ton of
Nice,
celebrating. I had a cider and 2 melon ball shots. The cider was
nice.
like a tropical, so it was like really heavy pineapple notes. And I'm more of a dry cider, like the more British style is what we call it here. Style
Yeah,
cider that's really dry. Uh, so it was definitely a sipper. But it's really hard to find dry ciders here because everyone is more into like the sweet things.
interesting. It's kind of the opposite here. I guess that makes sense with you calling it the British
Hmm.
style. Dry cider's everywhere. Like a crisp cider is
Delicious.
what's expected, really.
Hmm.
The sort of more like fruity. I mean, there's a lot of fruity ciders, but in the sense that like it's a dry cider with fruit flavor added to it. Um,
Yeah.
like that's not uncommon. But like ciders that are in their creation, like a where they have those fruity notes because of the way they're made, as opposed to just this is a blackcurrant flavored, whatever. They're
Of
really
course.
rare, and you don't find those as much. They're really good when you get them here, but they're uncommon. Most of the time, you get a flavored one here, it's in a can and bad. So
Yeah.
although we do have one, we have it on draft at my workplace actually, which I hadn't seen before. But you get it in bottles a lot called Old Moot, which people
Okay.
love arguing with me about and saying it's called Old Mout, and it isn't. Read the bottle. On the bottle it says Moot. Argue with the wall. Um, but the Old Moot's pretty good, and they do like a berries and cherries flavor and like a
Okay.
strawberry and kiwi flavor, and so it's really good.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
interesting.
super,
I tried.
very refreshing, but it's still like dry. Um, but yeah, I do like a cider. I don't drink it as much as I used to, just because it gets a bit heavy on the stomach. But I say that and then drink alcoholic lemonade. So you know, but I think also I've grown out of bad ciders. I don't like
That's fair.
bad ciders, and good ciders are
Yeah,
expensive.
they are. I agree.
Hooch is consistent. It's actually Hooch's like birthday celebrations this week. I think it's like I don't I couldn't
It
tell you how long, but
it really sounds like the chicken nuggets of like cocktails or like drinks. Like it's not great, but it's just there. And it's always
that's
the same.
you know I want to disagree with you, but I can't.
But you can't.
Um, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's consistent. Like
Yeah.
oh, it's 30. It's its 30th birthday this year.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, it's been around for a while. Like it was like really really popular in like the late 90s, and then it died off, and then kind of
Those
had a resurgence in the last like 5-10 years.
those malt beverages really like were a thing in the 90s. Like Zima like was big in the US and like towards the end of it Mike's Hard and like Smirnoff Ice and those things. So it doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me that that's the age.
yeah. It's strange. It died off for a while, and it just really boomed again, and now it's like super common. Um, but
All
yeah,
the 90s things coming back.
yeah, yeah. I like it because it's never bad. You can't be like, oh, I've got a bad cider at this place. Like it's always hooch, and it comes in cans, so it's easy
Chicken
to drink.
nuggets.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, yeah. But that's much longer spent on hooch than we need to for a rum episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if we properly mentioned that today is based around rums, but more specifically aged and spiced. We talked about this a little bit previously with the um,
White rum.
yeah, like we've been through a lot of like the core spirits and such, and we talked about white rum quite extensively in episode 1.
Hmm.
the usage for other types of rum is a little bit more particular and worth talking about. We were initially going to give a whole episode to spiced rum, but upon sort of further research, realized that it kind of makes more sense to just talk about non-white rums essentially,
Yeah, definitely.
because the way in which spiced rum is used in cocktails is quite strange, as it's often compared a little bit too closely to gold rums, and misused in that way because it is a different classification. The general public don't seem to know that too well. Like I certainly didn't until working in bars for a while,
Definitely me either.
and so the specifications with a lot of other rums are a little bit more particular. So we figured, so that we can still have kind of a broad conversation about it and not run out of things to say very quickly, we'll talk about rums as a whole. So this is including a lot of different kinds of rum. Basically, just as long as it's not, a low-aged white rum. There's gold rum, dark rum, black rum is different, navy rum, spiced rum, rum agricole, or Martinique rum, whatever you want to call it. Even like an XO rum is technically a different classification.
Sure.
Rum classifications are a little bit complicated, really, because unlike some other spirit categories, they're much less specific about what it needs to be called that thing. Because, like, white rum can and is often aged, at least a bit. So it's not just about it being aged to be a gold rum. It's about the colour and the way it's aged. But then a proper dark, like if you said a dark rum to me, I'm thinking like a really heavy molasses
Of course, yes.
rum. But it's not inaccurate in some cases where it's kind of a closer to a gold rum, and then they'll still call it a dark rum. Black rum's technically separate, but then that's called a dark rum quite a bit. It's, overproof rum is in itself its own category. Also often falls into one of the other categories. So
Definitely.
rum categories are more descriptors than they are specific legalities, like with, say, like tequila and whiskey, where there are really particular rules around what it's called, To start with, I guess the most popular one that I'd see most of the time, I would say, is spiced rum. Not necessarily in cocktails, but in general,
not,
that's the most common one for me. I don't obviously I can't. Is it the same over there? Would you say?
Oh yeah, and it's like Captain Morgan and Diet, or Captain Morgan and Coke. Like it's definitely, like, if it's a cocktail, it's not with anything else other than like just a dark cola.
Yeah. Captain Morgan's is the most popular one here, and is most often used with Coke. One that's really grown in popularity over the last while is Old J.
I'm not familiar with that one.
So Old J they've got a spiced, they've got a silver, they've got a couple of others, but a spiced is really popular. We've mentioned in most of these episodes the way that British spirits have taken that kind of, the most popular one has been taken away from a lot of good bars because it's too cheap almost. And Captain Morgan's has had that. And in all of those cases where, like, where Smirnoff was taken away and Absolute took over, or like, where like Gordon's was taken away and like Beefeater took over, in this case Captain Morgan's has kind of disappeared a little bit and Old J's taken over.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like Old J is a pretty common, in bars here at least, a pretty common, like it's in a rail a lot, it's in your bottom shelf a lot, it's used quite commonly.
Interesting, because like here, I think you'd really struggle if you had a bar that didn't have Captain Morgan. And then you have like another spiced rum, like I think like Sailor Jerry is a popular one
Sailor Jerry's is
here.
good. Yeah.
I like Sailor Jerry personally. I struggle with, because it's usually like, but
as
where's the Morgan?
as much as it's less associated directly, Kraken's really popular, and it's a spiced rum. It's also a dark rum. It's kind of both at the same time. which confuses a lot of people and markets itself more as a dark rum than it's as a spiced, even though it's spiced. Um,
Yeah.
so
One of my
that's a
favorites is um, Baku. Have you had that one?
mm-mm.
It's a just looking up. It's a barrel aged rum, and it has. I think it's categorized as a spice. I'm checking it out here. It's a
I mean, to
made
categorize
with
as a
Dominican
spice,
sugarcane.
it just needs to have extra spices added to it, right? The
Mhm.
spice is one of the ones that does kind of fall under a more particular categorization, in that it just means things have been added to it. Any of the other kind of rums can be a spiced rum if you add stuff to them.
Yeah.
Um,
Perhaps it's just age though, but it's got these wonderful like hints of vanilla, and there's some like spice to it. So I feel like it might be a spiced rum, but that's
I
probably
will
my favorite
say,
in that
I think
category.
Old J's popularity has been because it has quite heavy vanilla notes.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I know all spiced rums have at least some, but like on
Of
Old
course.
J, really particularly, that comes through more than anything else does, and I think that has helped its popularity because vanilla is quite a sought after flavor. Um,
Yes, it is.
like it's so popular in anything, like, which it's nice, I suppose. Um, it surprised me a little bit how much prominence it takes, but it's a nice flavor. And I do like Old J. Um, so I don't hate that as one that has taken over, and I do think it's nice in Captain Morgan's. I'm personally not a big fan of Captain Morgan's. I think
I'm not a huge fan either.
it's not bad, you know, but
It's fine.
it's not great. Um, Similarly, like, obviously Bacardi as the white rum has like a real monopoly, but Bacardi do have a spiced rum,
They do.
and I'll
They've
tell
got
you
all the flavors, and
that
it's
one's
not good.
not good.
It's not
No,
good.
Bacardi white's fine. Bacardi spiced is bad.
It's
Like, that
bad.
is active. I do not like it, which is interesting because it is like the go-to choice for white rum. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
it is
very
about the
weird.
spices they add; they're just bad. So
I really struggle with another Bacardi like flavor other than just white rum.
yeah, I agree. I think they've really nailed the white rum, and they really don't know what they're doing with
Mm-hmm.
anything else. But
Yep.
there are definitely a lot better ones. I think Sailor Jerry's is probably one of my favorite. There's a brand here that do a lot of flavored spiced rums that are really
Oh,
good, called Dead Man's Fingers. It's less,
interesting.
yeah. It's like it's in like a like almost like a ceramic bottle. It looks like, and it's got like a skull on it. Um,
Oh,
if I remember, I'll put a picture on in post. I probably won't remember, but it's they have like a mango flavor, a pineapple flavor. They've got all these, like, and they're like kind of artificial, but
interesting.
they're kind of like the absolute flavors, you know, and they're pretty versatile and they're quite nice.
Huh.
Put them with some lemonade, they taste great, and they're not like too expensive. But they're not like house prices, but they're not too expensive. Um, they're not seen too often, but they had like a
Interesting.
little bit of popularity for a couple of years, like not long back, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan, I have to say. I think it's really interesting when you start putting flavors in rum. I think it's because obviously rum
When
has
it's
it's not like a blank slate for those flavors, so
no,
like
not at all.
it really, I guess, I don't know what the right word is. It's quite dynamic in the way that those flavors change it.
I
I
think
think
that's a
that's
good
really
word
cool.
for it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of
Yeah,
the
definitely.
verb for that, but dynamizers doesn't sound right. Uh, Maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm gonna say it and just sound stupid. You know. Now I sound more stupid because I've explained it. Anyway, the point is, it's got some really cool flavors. In terms of like gold rums, Jamaican rums usually. Those kind of like light amber aged rums. They tend to be the most common ones for cocktails. Um, and that's I guess partly down to the way that this first came around, but there is a lot of, like, especially tiki cocktails
Yes,
with a gold rum in, or with like an aged rum of some kind,
sure.
um, just because it has like some of those oak notes from the barrels and such, and like the aged notes really change them. I mean, like, most of the tiki cocktails I've tried have had some kind of aged rum in them.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
like even dark rums. Like I've had some pretty big classics. Like I mean, the Dark and Stormy, right? One of the most simple ones
Oh, of course.
is
Yes.
a dark aged rum. You know, um,
Yeah. I like one of those on occasion.
they're okay. I'm not a big fan of ginger beer really,
That
so
doesn't surprise me.
yeah, it's not really to my
I love
to my
ginger
taste
beer.
really. But yeah, spiced rum doesn't feature in cocktails maybe as often as you might think. I'm kind of blanking a little bit right now on aged rum like classics. I know there is quite a few like popular ones, but just
Well,
my
see, the way that we make Mai Tais in like, I always call them like a party Mai Tai. So it's like it's basically a rum punch, but that's what people will order. And it always has like a
oh
dark rum
yeah, that
float
makes
on it.
sense. Yeah, they're definitely.
And so I
I'd say
think that that's,
they're better with those for sure. So there's like the navy grog, um,
oh yeah,
it,
of course.
one of the ones I have actually like I have already like you said yourself the mai tai quite often has that kind of stuff, and I'm not even really seeing that many here. To be fair, I thought there were more, but it's a lot of like it's not necessarily cocktails people would have heard of, but cocktails that existed through tiki, like really used aged rums well. I guess just because they give a pretty big punch of flavor, and a
Yeah.
lot of old tiki recipes. Like I've got the Smuggler's Cove book, which is like chock full of tiki
Oh, okay.
recipes, and a good chunk of those follow the really old style because tiki's popularity initially. A lot of the drinks were being made as like a large punch as opposed to a single drink. Um,
With those drinks, they have like 8,000 ingredients in it, and so it just makes more sense to make a giant batch than,
yeah, that's
try
true.
to measure out 10
Yeah, a
10
lot of the time
mLs
it's
of,
like
you know,
small ratios of stuff.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah, which I guess at that point it makes more sense to make it as a punch. But also like I feel like the reasoning for it, maybe I'm wrong, was kind of more the other way around in that because they were making a big punch, they were like we can put loads of stuff in it, and then it's just been narrowed down
Yeah,
over time, because of the fact that they were mainly using tiki drinks initially at like these big parties and stuff like that,
I
and
think
to like
that's accurate.
show off all these cool ingredients they brought in. It was a very like rich thing to do. They made it as these big punches, and then um, especially with like the really old stuff like the original Planters Punch, the Don Beach one, and
Hmm.
all of the different drinks Don Beach made, like or you know all the drinks he made, and then also all of the extra drinks that he claimed he made that he didn't. Like you know, it's what tiki heritage is. So, and
Of
a lot of them
course.
have been taken down to uh, more particular recipes, which actually I think takes us quite nicely onto our classics because I think we've both
Yes.
actually gone with tiki drinks for this, right?
I think we have, yeah.
Go on then, bring me yours. What you got?
Well, I went with um the Jungle Bird, and it is a tiki style cocktail. It used to be the welcome drink for the Kuala Lumpur Hilton, which opened in 1973, and it
Right.
was crafted by Jeffrey Ong inside the hotel's aviary bar. And so every time that you would check in, that would be the drink that you would get. So it's kind of an old drink, um, but it's also one that features dark rum. Um, there's some back and forth whether they prefer to use like a Jamaican rum as opposed to just like the original was with a black strap, so there's really heavy
When
molassesy
I think of
rum.
a jungle bird, it's dark rum. I think
Me
that's
too, yeah,
the most
but
classic recipes for it.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. But yeah, it's a little bit fruity, but it also has that Campari that gives the bitter component to it too. So it's a little bit of interest. You got that, that molasses, that really sweet, but then it's also counteracted with the bitter Campari. Uh, so yeah, I think that if we were gonna do a recipe for it, I'd probably do about 50 milliliters of blackstrap rum, um, 25 milliliters of Campari, 50 milliliters of pineapple juice, 15 of lime juice, and then 15 of demerara syrup. And then you shake that and strain it over fresh ice in a rocks glass with a pineapple garnish. So really sweet, kind of got a lot of things going on there. Um, but really a balanced drink overall, I think,
Yeah,
for
I think
something
I think
that's could get really sweet.
I for me it kind of has a little bit of the opposite effect in that the Campari makes it a little bit too bitter for me almost.
That's
It
fair.
it's very rare I can drink anything with Campari or like a really heavy like you know aperitif in it like that where it gives it a really bitter flavor, and I don't just go I don't like that. A Jungle Bird I don't mind as much. It wouldn't be my go-to because of that, but um
No, probably not me
it's
either, but
pretty good. I also think that something that tiki drinks do a lot is have a disgusting amount of alcohol in them, which I think is
hmm
why you don't see them on too many British bars because of a lot of the alcohol rules we have. You'd kind of have to bring those numbers down, and then you risk almost watering the drink down a little bit too much.
yeah,
I took a bit of that risk when I put together my menu when I was at Moxie. I had a tiki section on it, and I had a Jungle Bird recipe on it. But I think the Jungle Bird recipe I used then was slightly lower numbers than that.
of
But we
course.
did use dark rum for that, of course. And we had the Campari, and I think it was a good Jungle Bird if I do say so myself. Um,
Of course
I
it
don't I don't
was.
remember the exact numbers that we used for it, but it was a little bit more uh, viable, I guess, to standard
Yeah.
drinkers. It wasn't a popular one on the menu, I'll say. I think the Campari didn't really appeal to many of
Yeah,
our
people aren't
guests, but
can't do the tasting in your head of kind of deciding of how that Campari is going to work with everything else. But I feel like there's
yeah.
enough other like sweet components to it that it kind of like draws out the
Yeah,
bitterness a
I
little
think we
bit,
just
in
had
my
enough other
opinion.
ones that didn't have things in that made people go, oh, and they went with the safer options.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense too.
yeah.
What did you come up with for this week?
So I have brought a cocktail that kind of almost spurred on one of the I'd say one of the most popular tiki bars that there has been, and one of the longest running ones as well, which is the Three Dots and a Dash.
Ah,
It's
yes,
I don't know too many New York bars, but I know Three Dots and a Dash. I'm pretty sure it's New York. Um, I
I'm
know
pretty sure.
it's a very famous bar. I know it's a very
hmm
famous tiki bar specifically,
hmm
and this cocktail in itself almost a precursor for it. Um, it is the main core rum in it is a Martinique rum or rum agricole. It's a personal favorite of mine. It has a lot of like really grassy notes to it. It's made a little bit differently to regular rum in quite a hilarious way in that basically it's just got loads of rules because surprise surprise it's owned by the French and they love putting rules
French
on
love
things.
rules.
I don't know what it is about alcohol where they go, okay, but we need to make it this really specific way.
Uh-huh.
But it's really good, so I'm not going to argue. And most French exports like that are pretty good, so maybe they're on something. But yeah, it's got a Martinique rum. It's also got like a usually a slightly darker aged rum. Um, it's made with falernum, a pretty popular like tiki ingredient. It's got pimento dram in it as well, so it's like it's pretty booze heavy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's got lime juice, orange juice, honey, Angostura, and it's a blended drink with ice. So I don't like making it, especially not with all those ingredients as well. But yeah, blend with crushed ice, pour into like a tiki mug basically. So like it's
That's pretty boozy for a blended drink,
oh yeah. But that's why you're blending it, I guess, with like the crushed ice, so that
I
that in
guess.
itself is going to water it down a bit, right? Like recipe wise, um, it's a little bit harder to narrow down, but the recipe I've got for it, I took straight from Difford's because this is one that with a lot of cocktails before I would test and make them and put them on a menu or like we have, and with a chunk of them, I've kind of when the recipes I've been taught or I've seen or have been around feel a little bit specific or complicated, I've gone, maybe this is something that's worth adapting. With tiki drinks, that is
Yeah.
so much more difficult because they're so
Oh.
specific, right? So like the
Mm-hmm.
different recipe for this has it at 45 ml of a Martinique rum, 15 ml of a, they suggest Havana Club 7-year-old rum, but any slightly darker aged rum
Sure.
will do. 7.5 ml Falernum, 7.5 ml Pimento Dram, which feels a little bit
This is a
strange.
direct conversion from ounces.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's definitely been converted from that. But as soon as I change either of those, I have to choose up or down to 5 or 10, and then
Yeah.
everything else has to go with it.
Yeah, that
And
makes
it
it hard.
becomes really difficult with those ratios, right? Like, I'd be more likely to make them both 10, but then I probably have to make the Martinique 50. Could maybe leave the
Yeah.
7-year-old at 15, but maybe you want to go up to 20. Then you've got the lime juice and the orange juice and the honey, and because I've got so many ingredients, even that 2.5 mil change on the falernum or the pimento is basically changing the whole drink up or down by a total of like 20 to 30 mil, which is
Yeah.
insane. Which is why I just haven't bothered changing this one. Never left it as it is, and you can figure out how to pour 7.5 mil in your jigger. How about that? Yeah, 7.5 mil of
Just
falernum
make
and
it on a
pimento dram.
scale.
15 ml of lime juice, 15 ml of orange juice, 15 ml of a honey syrup, and 1 dash of Angostura bitters. I'd probably say 2 dashes to
Just one.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. Balancing wise, it should be more than 1 dash realistically. However, it is called 3 dots and a dash,
That's a
which
good
I'm
point.
pretty sure is why it's 1 dash. Or at least that's why they use 1 dash of the Angostura bitters. The actual name comes
Sure.
from the Morse code for victory, which is
Yep.
3 dots and a dash. And it was created during World War II by Don Beach. So this one actually was him, by the sounds of it. Don't know whether I believe that or not. He loved claiming them, but it is an exceptionally refreshing drink, and it's really, really boozy. It's probably one of the most complex tiki drinks, but to have all of that and succeed and stand the test of time is nothing short of a miracle, really. But it's a
That's true.
fantastic drink. Like it gives some really, really complex notes, and using the Martinique rum as its base, it just I've talked before about how much I like a rum agricole and those kind of really grassy notes to it, and it does wonders for this drink.
I bet it
Uh,
does.
it's obviously a the uh, the garnish is a little bit non-specific, but it does say skewered fruit. It says it should be 3 skewered blueberries and a long thin slice of pineapple to illustrate the name, which I think is cool. It sounds
Yeah,
This sounds like maybe the worst drink someone could ask you to make on a bar, other
it
than the
does.
Ramos Gin Fizz. But it's really nice. So you know,
It's a
you
great
you
candidate
you
for
instantly listen.
batching.
Oh yeah, the whole absolutely yeah. I mean, 4 of the ingredients can go into the batch and
Hmm.
not have a shelf life, which would help. It'd help a lot with that like 7.5 mil. I'll tell you that, because if you're batching it,
Absolutely.
it's no
Yeah.
longer 7.5 mil, right? You're probably
Yeah.
changing it to like a more round number, which would make it a lot easier to pour out. So yeah, this is a really good batching one, but it's nice. So I wanted to bring it, and also the history with it being like one of the Don Beach drinks, and with it, you know, spurring on a the name of one of the most successful tiki bars of all time. I just thought it was a real, it's a rich drink with a rich history, and
It's
I
a
thought that
classic for sure.
fit the rum well. But yeah, too, we love bringing contrasting drinks. Uh,
Yeah.
have we had an episode yet where we haven't done that?
I really don't think so.
I don't think we have. Um, and to have gone through as many episodes as we have and not done that is quite impressive, actually. Because we've done what, 6 episodes? How many have we done now? We've done 6. We've done 6. We've been saying this whole time that this is the last episode of the series, and it isn't.
It
Um,
isn't.
no, we've got one more. So
Oh.
spoilers for the rest of you.
Surprise!
We've got another one coming actually. We was kind of getting ahead of myself. Um, yeah, we actually have we have one more because we were aiming for 8 episodes for the series, right? So
That's
ignore
right.
everything I've
Okay.
if I don't
Yeah.
edit it out, just ignore everything I've said about that. And pretend we're professional for like 5 minutes. So we'll have 14 cocktails by the end of this. But that's fine. But still, going 7 episodes and basically always having contrasting drinks
Yeah.
in ours, and then we've done a similar thing with the creative sections too. I'd say. So
I think so.
why don't we see if we can stick to that today and get onto the
Oh,
wheels,
see what the
shall we?
wheel is gonna give us coffee.
Yeah.
We'll see what the wheel's gonna do. Yeah.
Passion fruit syrup, I think, is what it wants, right? There we go. Let's get the wheel up. Beautiful. We have
Oh,
the wheel on screen. All right. Modifiers ready. Coffee, mint,
okay.
passion fruit syrup. If it rolls any of them, I'm removing it. You ready?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it's got for us.
All right.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's landed on Coke. Now, Coke is
Like the
something that
soda?
like cola. Yeah, I probably should have not just written
Ah,
it as
okay.
Coke. Actually, we're not putting cocaine in the rum. We.
Oh,
I mean, we could try if you want, but uh,
I don't.
we call this the bartender's breakfast. It's just a shot of overproof rum and a line of Coke, and there we go, we're ready
Oh,
to go for the shift. Uh,
that's terrible.
it does. Um, all right. Well, now the thing with Coke is obviously it's used a lot with this kind of thing. Um, it seems like something that's really, really simple, but I think we should go with it because with how often we take things and go, we could do this simple thing or make it complicated. Why not do the
Right.
same thing here, right?
Of course.
There are, of course, a good few classic cocktails in general that utilize cola or Coke, right?
Yes.
Um, they are also all very simple, like the Cuba Libre and the Batanga and such, like it, where it's basically just
Long Island
spirit.
tea.
Yep. So you could go with the very simple one of these aged rums or spiced rum or whatever, lime juice, Coke. That's boring. That's not what we do
10
here.
minutes.
So,
Of course. Of
uh,
course not.
so how do we take rum and Coke and make it something that basically our little hypothetical customer, have we given her a name yet? I feel like the personality we give her, I feel like she should be called Jessica. I've not seen any comments suggesting any names, so I'm gonna go with Jessica for now.
Jessica.
She can have a
Great.
name change. I just feel like if the girl comes out about, hi, I want this really specific thing. I'm getting Jessica vibes. I don't know about you.
Well,
Um,
let's roll with it.
so Jessica comes to the bar and goes, I really like a rum and Coke, but like, you guys are so
I
cool.
like fancy.
Can you make it fancy? And how are we doing that without just putting a fruit on the top? Uh, because that's what I do to most people when they ask for a normal drink, but make it fancy. Uh, how are we doing that? So
So, my initial thought is, can we alter the Coke to be something else? Like doing like I'm thinking of like a
choose a
reduction.
different ingredient.
No, but like alter so like what I'm thinking is like doing like a Coke reduction, right? So
So
making the
turning it into
Coke
like a syrup.
into some a syrup to give it like it still have that really like distinct flavor, but it would be something that would be a little bit easier to stir into like other things.
Right,
It
right.
wouldn't be just like
So
Coke.
as opposed to a pour it in at the end like it normally is, it would be a
Yeah.
stirred in ingredient. Interesting. I did think about that, but my initial thought was more down the line of like sodas and fizzy things are quite often used in cocktails as like you'll shake some stuff together and then you'll top it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Coke isn't often used to top things because of its really particular flavor.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I don't think that means it's impossible to do so. Most of the time Coke is used, it's like a whole thing.
Hmm.
So like that was my initial thought with it, but I do like the idea of like a essentially like a cola syrup. I mean, when I worked at Wash House, we would make a cola syrup in house, but we didn't reduce cola. We made it from scratch,
Well, of
um,
course. Yeah.
and it was pretty good. But the reason we made that was for using a foam as opposed to like a cocktail ingredient.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
we had a drink on called the Castro, which um, it was based on like because it was all conspiracy theories and stuff, and it was based on I don't remember the exact conspiracy theory behind it because the floor staff knew the theories and we knew how to make the drinks. Um, but it was something to do with like what's his name, the drug lord guy Castro. Why can't I think of his name?
El Chapo.
Drugs, drugs, Castro. Um, okay, so you just
Are you sure
what
it's not
what's
El
his
Chapo?
no Fidel Castro. That's it.
Fidel Castro. Okay. Well.
Yeah, yeah, and something to do with a conspiracy between him and Justin Trudeau.
Oh yeah, that's his dad. I think that
Mm,
I've read that
there you go. It's
that
probably that one. Yeah.
conspiracy theory. Yeah.
And basically the flavors in that were like really like around smoky and stuff, and it was garnished with like a chocolate cigar and stuff on the side, and it came in like an
Interesting.
ashtray.
Okay.
But
Oh,
on the top it got a cola foam.
okay.
Um,
Or what if we
the
made like a cola like caviar? Like that could be another interesting
cola
like
caviar. I tell you
yeah,
what,
right?
really go like super opposite to how Coke drinks are and make it like really posh.
Yes.
I don't mind that. Make like a. So the only thing with that is, does that constitute in the way that we do things here in terms of we've made a cocktail with it, or are we just turning it into a garnish? I guess we could do that as well, right? Um,
There's no rules here.
that's true. Yeah, I suppose we make the rules, right? So, um,
Is
I
a
like I
garnish
like
not part of the cocktail?
yes, but I would. I guess my argument would be if someone went, "Oh, is there any cola in this cocktail?" and I said yes, and then gave someone something where it has a cola caviar.
But
I,
that's like eating at fine dining.
yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. But then, what drink do we pair with a cola caviar? Right. Like I'm trying to think of thematically how to include cola in something that
Well, I'm
makes
thinking
sense.
something like well, initially when I was talking, when maybe you can do both. Like maybe you can have like the Coke syrup and then just have the Coke caviar as the garnish, right? I was thinking something along the lines of like an old-fashioned build where you've got like you're not too heavy on mixers, but it's more of like what's in it. So you have the highlight of like, because I feel like a Coke syrup and like a darker rum would really go well together.
That's true.
Um, and then,
Because of like
maybe,
molasses flavors would really.
yeah, and then something to brighten it up. And then, you know, um, the
I guess
caviar,
like
of
my
course,
my
but
only worry there with like a darker rum is that molasses gives it like a really
it could,
rich, quite heavy flavor, and
it could
Coke
get too
also
heavy,
has
you're
that,
right?
and it's gonna feel really like a lot. Like
That's a good
I
point.
I love Coca Cola, but by the end of a can, I'm like, yeah, and I'd
Right.
like to avoid that in this drink because if we're making a drink, we want to make a cool experience, but also we want a drink that if they have it 3 or 4 times in a row, doesn't make them hate it, you know.
Sure.
Um, and like I think the only exceptions to that really are if you make a dessert cocktail or like a frozen
Mm-hmm.
cocktail, um, because they can get sickly just by design, but not by flavor. Um, you can't really make a dessert cocktail that people want to have six of unless they're already in themselves a bit of a psychopath. So,
I mean, yeah.
whereas like I feel like the kind of cocktail we're making is one that it's down to how we make it as to whether
hmm
you can make it last. I like the old fashioned style idea. I just don't know how you um
I
what
don't really know
if
how to implement it either. It was
it's
just kind of
it's
like
a
a,
it's a this is a difficult one. Um
it is.
it's I mean it's obviously not difficult to make a drink out of, right? But like
No.
I think if you're using the color syrup you have to have a lot of brightness around it. But
hmm
if you go too light it's gonna get lost, right? That's the problem. Um so how do you do that without losing it? Um, is there a way to to like this sounds silly in my head, but to essentially take like a tiki style build and modernize it with Coca-Cola. Like you take like because tiki is a lot of like, oh look at these old fancy cool ingredients, and they're basically going, what if
Right.
we took all of that, but if because a lot of tiki ingredients are like, oh this is the first time they had these ingredients. They wanted to include loads of this cool
Of course.
regional time based stuff and a lot of like homemade stuff, right? Um,
Hmm.
what if you took that to modern day, if instead of it being back in World War II, Don Beach was making this stuff, if Don Beach existed now and this was the first time we've just got ice imported, we've just got rum imported, now we can put loads of stuff in it. What are the modern day equivalents of that where this is the ingredients that would be a go-to? And I feel like Coca-Cola would be one of those, right? Because it's such a popular drink. Maybe less so,
Sure.
obviously, like, you know, it's a little bit more specific than the juices and that, but like if you were to have it as a topping stuff, what could you put under it to keep those flavors? I'd
That's a really
like
good way of putting it.
I had like the slight thought, although I don't know how you would do it specifically with aged rums. Of I was thinking about like how Coca Cola in itself has, and also Pepsi and like all your other brands, but like um Coca Cola and Pepsi both have like a good few flavored lines.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about which one of those is the most popular, I think for both it's fair to say cherry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like if you said to me, name one flavored Coca Cola brand, I'm saying cherry, and it's the same with
Hmm.
Pepsi.
Hmm.
Is there some way of incorporating it like that, where maybe you use
Mm.
like a maraschino liqueur in some way, or um,
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I kind of
maybe
like
even
that
like a
thought.
like either with like a cola syrup as a sweetener, but then you just need to the maraschino itself is already kind of sweet. Like, is it like some kind of weird daisy build cocktail with maraschino as like your secondary
See, I could get into
liquor?
that, or just thinking about like, because something that I like to do, like one of my favorite like ways of designing drinks is like this is a food, and now I'm gonna make a drink that tastes like the food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Um, designing a drink that tastes like Coke, right? But isn't
Right.
Coke. So think that you'd have like the
That
Coke syrup, of
I
course you can
like
use, but like
I like that as an
I like that
idea. The only problem
cherry
is
on
we
it.
do have to include Coke.
No, no, oh, of course, of course.
Like,
No, so but all of the long things that I said to get to your point of like then making it something with so like making a cherry Coke that isn't just a cherry Coke. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, yeah,
Like
yeah,
it tastes like that, but it's actually like boozy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like the flavors of Coca Cola are really like particular as well. In that, like the reason it doesn't really taste like
Hmm.
anything else is because it is a very strange blend of things.
Hmm.
Um, and like that's really hard to replicate. Um,
Yeah. Like
obviously,
I'm struggling to like decide what the flavors of Coke are, which sounds weird, but like
yeah. I mean, I know. So like, I know that. I've forgotten which one. I've talked to you about this before, and I've forgotten it again. There's like a herb that coriander. Coriander is like
ah,
one of the core flavors of Coca Cola, and it doesn't feel like it, but it is. And then citrus peels. Those two together make up
sure.
a weirdly decent. And when I think about those on their own, I'm like, that's not Coke, but they are. They do come together to make the
Yeah.
flavor of Coke. I don't know how you necessarily include that in the right way.
Ooh.
Like I don't know how you
I
get
think you're onto
coriander into a
something
cocktail, but
with the Daisy build. I think I think you were really onto something there.
is
That's gonna be
there?
our most viable.
Do you think perhaps maybe I've just got some bias because I love me some agricole rum, right? But if we're thinking coriander, coriander on its
Sure.
own has a citrusy, slightly sweet, and grassy flavor with a hint of bitterness.
Mm,
They're light and floral with subtle sweetness and earthy undertones. That to me sounds like an agricole,
agricole.
like at
Yep.
least close enough where an agricole rum would somewhat replicate that, right? Um, citrus peels is pretty easy to get the flavor into a cocktail with.
Definitely.
Um, Either just by basically putting citrus in, or if you go with like a what's it? There's like super sour where it's like
I've made
like
those
the
before.
Japanese one, like the super
Super
sour where it's
juice,
like
yeah.
yeah, well the super juice, or there's specifically like the Japanese like citrus juice stuff called super sour, like
Oh.
SUPASAWA, which is like an extra sour like cocktail ingredient.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Um, it's a premium sour. Oh, it's from Belgium. Never mind. I could have swore it was anyway. My apologies. A Belgian cocktail. It's a sour cocktail mixer designed as a shelf-stable alternative to fresh lemon and lime juice. Um, it's not actually got any citrus in it. It's made entirely with acids. So maybe I don't know if it, but I suppose combine that maybe with some lemon bitters because of that little bit of bitterness that was supposedly in it. A cola syrup, which would be really rich and sweet, anyways.
Very sweet, yes.
And then your base daisy of the agricole and the maraschino.
Yeah.
Um, and then you've got like a daisy style drink with Coca Cola flavors, but with like a cherry
Yes.
Coke flavor, right?
Yes.
Um, and then maybe you serve it with some. You serve it with the Cola caviar, and a maraschino cherry,
Yes.
like
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
I don't know, it could be, or
It's
maybe not even
elevated, it's a little bit different. Oh,
maybe not even maraschino cherries, especially for like the symbolism of it. Get like some proper like just like some kind of more standard cherries, the ones with a little stem on them,
yes.
and like leave the little stems on them and kind of like have those. Um,
Here that would be like a cocktail like a maraschino cherry is what we would call those, like the super bright red. I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably accurate, but that's
and but just like leave the stems on them,
yes.
and have them as like a little
Just like they are
yeah,
on the can.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking for that kind of like symbolism that it's got
Yeah.
there. Get like a
And
couple of
then the
those and
caviar is little bubbles. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And you could have like it might be a little bit too dangerous to carve out a Coke can, but I'm thinking like you have like essentially like half a Coke can, whether it's carved out or like a 3D printed thing or whatever, where like it's like half a Coke can and that's what you serve the caviar in, and have
Yeah.
like the um like sat on the side of it, I think that could be a. It's like it's so over the top, it's so unnecessary, but
Aren't
it
they
sounds
all?
cool, you know,
Yeah.
like
I
um
think that would be doable. I think that kind of will make it more complex without completely like changing what Coke is.
yeah.
Um,
Obviously,
yeah.
you've
I
like used cola for both a cola syrup and cola caviar, right? Where
Yeah.
like,
think that puts it good to good use. That
yeah,
counts.
it's like a really creative way, and it's like I feel like it's a really interesting way to take like I feel like a lot of the sort of fancier, more bougie cocktails, like the reason a lot of the people who would just order a rum and coke at the bar that still come up to those bars and go, "Can I just get a rum and coke?" They do that because they look at a lot of the fancy stuff and go, "I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't like it."
I don't know what
If
that
you
is.
present them
Yeah.
with that, they'll go, "Well, I don't like it, but like I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I do like a rum and
Sure.
coke."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like maybe they're more inclined to try it. It's like a cool little like bridge between the two.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think that sounds like a great idea.
I don't know exactly what you call it, other than just calling it a cherry coke, but um, I guess maybe yeah, you do just call it cherry cola.
Yeah. Cherry cola.
Um,
Yeah.
Probably serve it in like a Nick and Nora, I
Coupe
guess,
or Nick and Nora. Yeah, that works.
or coupe, either or, I suppose. Um, or like, could you maybe get like a we've got some at work for one of our drinks. You get like a glass that's like shaped like a can.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've had those too.
Okay, a glass shaped like a can, and then I mean, you probably then don't want the Coca-Cola can for the caviar and stuff, but um, oh, you know what, okay, this is probably the most complicated glassware idea I've ever had,
Shoot.
but I'm picturing like one of those like kind of glass like cans, right? And then it's probably
Hmm.
3D printed in some way, or like maybe it's crafted in some way, right? Is that there's essentially like a lid that goes on top of the can that looks like the top of a can with like a ring pull and stuff, you know? And that's
Hmm.
what holds the caviar and the cherries. So it sits on top of the
Yeah.
glass, and then you just kind of have to like move it off of it basically. But like for
Okay.
serving it, you just serve it as a can, and then you take it off.
Yeah.
You've got yeah.
Sounds stressful to make, but I'm into it.
It does. But that sounds like a stress to make that we would pass on to someone else.
Of course.
You get like a designer to do it. You know what I mean? You're like, hey,
Yeah.
you're good with crafts and stuff. Can you make us this thing? And they make it, and you order them in like you order 100 of them, and they sit in the basement for a while, and then take them out and serve them when you need them. It's so over the top, but I think it'd be really good.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that works.
and like, okay, so the can's gonna look maybe a little bit empty, and maybe you go with like a small can, just because
Yeah, just make the
not very much
can
in it.
smaller.
Yeah,
They got those
uh,
mini Cokes that are like this big. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
exactly. Okay, and then you've got recipe wise then, if you need numbers, I'd say probably do like a 40-20 on your alcohols. It's
Yes,
35-15 if you're going to 50 here, but I'd say 40-20 is a better ratio.
I
Um,
agree.
40-20 on agricole and maraschino liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
Um, super sour is definitely more. It's like more powerful than citrus is, so you probably want to put
Right.
less of it. Maybe you don't go with that. Maybe you do just go with like essentially like a super juice, because you're charging that with citrus oils, right? So like
Yeah, of course.
you do like a super juice and you put like maybe 20 mil,
Yeah.
and then probably
Like
20 mil of the color syrup as well, maybe a little bit less.
probably one. Yeah.
I don't want to over sweeten it, but also I want the color flavor to come through. So like maybe 20 mil of that, and then you balance out that over sweetness by doing like a couple of dashes of like lemon bitters or whatever,
I
I
think
feel
that
like
sounds like a
lemon
good.
bitters keeps with that like almost citric kind of taste.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
shake fine strain into the can contraption we've made.
Yeah. I think that
I don't
sounds
mind it.
like
I drink it. I drink it. I think it's
I'll let
certainly
you drink it.
unique. It's like it's like super targeted. But like I think that fits the bill of being a creative way to use the Coke, which is what I wanted and why we stuck with it.
Right.
Now, something I have just realised is that we did all of that in terms of like we'll keep the Coke so we can keep a creative spin on it, but we've now got to spin the wheel again and
I
still
know.
have Coke in it.
I've been stressed out about
I'm now
spin the
stressed
wheel
out
again.
about that.
Well, let's
Because
find
we've
out
now got to keep
what the
cooking it. I think this might be one where we go to what my first idea was, where the Coke is a top. Um, all right, let me get the wheel up on the screen. Wheel is up. Okay,
Oh, I'm
the
stressed.
everything wheel. I don't think passion fruit syrup would go very well with it,
Ugh.
so hopefully we don't. Grenadine. That's not bad.
No, I mean we could have just used grenadine in that
Yeah,
last drink. Be like, oh, we're just gonna take the maraschino out and put in grenadine.
yeah, it would have been
No,
super
that's
sweet,
not
but
cherry flavored.
no, no, it's not. Okay, so rum, Coke, grenadine.
Just gave us like the most basic stuff.
This sounds horrific, actually. Aged rum as well, bear in mind. It can't even be a white rum, it has to
Right.
be an aged rum, right?
Ugh.
Do we want to keep on grenadine here? Because this feels like. I feel like we can make it.
Feels like a
I
hate
don't.
crime.
It does.
Ugh.
It Like, is there any way of us using that without it just being bad?
I mean,
I think we can, but I feel like if Jessica came up and said,
but should
"I do
we?
like the rum and coke, but like, could you add grenadine?" I go, "Shut the fuck up, Jessica." Like,
Like, you want a cherry Coke with grenadine.
yeah,
I mean,
like
that's
it literally is like making a cherry coke but worse, right?
yeah.
All right. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
One respin.
All
If
right.
it's worse, we stick with grenadine.
I'm into it. Let's go.
As you said, there are no rules. We make the rules. Are you mad about it?
Right.
Are you mad about it,
No, not
listeners
at
and
all.
watchers? Cry about it.
Not at all.
Okay. Um, if it if it's worse, we stick with grenadine. If it's better, we
Okay.
change.
I
Okay.
I
So
don't want to say I can't imagine it being worse, but I guess I can.
okay. So based on what I said, I'm I'm gonna still say we need to re-roll this despite those rules because it has landed on dark rum, which is
Okay, well,
already what we're putting in. Um, so
at least the wheel's giving us some
I
variety.
didn't consider that. That's true.
Uh-oh. Your face is making me nervous.
Yellow chartreuse. I'm gonna say I think that's better than grenadine.
I I feel like they're both equally bad, but let's go. Let's do the
I listen. They're
yellow
both horrific to put
chartreuse.
with this, but I think we can make a better quality drink with yellow chartreuse than we can with grenadine. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right. Uh,
Let's
I'm trying to
let's.
like
I think I've only ever had yellow chartreuse once, if I'm being totally real. And I'm trying to think
I
of
feel like the only time I had it was at EBS.
it's sweet and herbal with notes of honey and citrus
Hmm.
and a subtle spice. That sounds like it'd go quite well with cola. Personally, I think it's subtle spice, honey, citrus, herbal. Okay, so it's not great. It's not it. Yellow
A
chartreuse is great.
rum and coke with a yellow chartreuse float. Go done.
Done. Yeah. Oh, but Jessica thinks that's boring. Okay. All right. Okay. Listen, I'm thinking that the cola needs to be a small addition in this, as opposed to, you know, a real focus for the last one. It was all based around cola. It was a cola drink.
Sure.
This one, it's like a it's my
Small.
brain stopped. It's it doesn't do much to it, you know. Um, the maybe this is where we go modern tiki, right? Maybe this is where we go
Yeah. Okay.
like a rum, a yellow chartreuse, maybe even another kind of alcohol in some way. Oh, I tell you what sounds disgusting, but I bet we could make it great. You want something that's herbal with notes of citrus and spice? What if we put Jägermeister in it?
Oh, now you're speaking my language. And Jägermeister goes great with pineapple.
Yeah. So like, you know, I feel like is there any way of look okay. I'm really trying to like pull this together in a way that will work, but it's lots of horrible sounding things when you think about them in a cocktail together. But when you actually look at the flavor notes of a dark rum, of a yellow chartreuse, of Jägermeister, and of cola, actually
They're similar.
they complement each other surprisingly
Hmm.
well. Weirdly well, actually. This is one of those that I would never put on the menu until I tasted it. We don't have that privilege. We have to go with the development notion I like to call fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
So
That could just be the name of this.
yeah, that's yeah, true.
Fuck
Um,
around and find out.
I like it. I like it. We've got the name before we even got a
Yeah.
recipe.
Hey,
Um,
it happens
so
sometimes.
if you go with like a somewhat tiki style build, I'm trying to. Is there any tiki drinks that get like a top? Tiki drinks with. I'm gonna put with soda because that's the only one I think I'm gonna be able to find. Right. Okay, so just in case you needed any additional reasons to hate the AI, I think I've still got this up on screen actually, so you might be able to see it here on the screen. The AI reckons a Mai Tai
I
should be.
hate AI. Ugh,
I'm gonna take it off the screen now.
unhelpful.
Let me get past that because I don't want that. Like none of this is giving me anything useful. Don the Beachcomber's Navy Grog. Does that have soda in it? Why?
Didn't we make that?
We did. Did our recipe have that? Did our recipe have soda in it? I don't remember.
There was so many recipes.
Yeah, we made it at EBS, right? Let
We
me
did. 100% we made that Navy grog when drank it at
yeah,
9 o'clock in the
Navy.
morning.
It did. It did have club soda in it. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
It had the most horrific like the measurements we had on it were gross. It had 30 ml of each gold, dark, and white rum. So that's 90 ml of rum. It had
Oh my
30 ml of
God.
honey mix, 22 ml of lime juice, 22 ml of grapefruit juice, 22 ml of club soda.
Okay, but like we could use this as a framework for the fuck around and
Yes,
find out because
exactly. So those three rums, you
sure.
keep probably the dark. I feel like the dark works best with this, right? Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a
I
gold,
agree.
but I think probably a dark. A
I think
dark
dark.
in. Although is that too heavy? I mean, it's going to be heavy anyways, I suppose, right?
Maybe one of the lighter darks, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sure. Like not like a really like black rum, like a
Right.
but a dark rum. A dark rum,
Sure.
yellow chartreuse, Jägermeister. That's your like alcohol core, if you like,
Yeah.
right?
I don't like, but
I,
yes.
I I'm sure it's fine. Um, I do then worry about putting juices in it with the cola.
I'm not worried about that. Why not?
Do we put pineapple in it then?
I think so.
Like based on this, I mean, this has honey mix in it. I don't think we need that.
No, I
Like
don't
the
think
Navy
that.
Grog has honey mix. I don't think we need to sweeten this anymore because we're gonna have the cola, which is gonna be quite sweet. We've got the um. Well, I guess we're not getting that much sweetness from elsewhere actually, but also the lime and the grapefruit in the Navy are both really like grapefruit's quite bitter,
Yeah.
and we don't need to balance that if we go with pineapple instead. Pineapple's more neutral.
Hmm.
You could still go with lime juice.
Yeah. Pineapple and lime. Yep.
Does lime go with Jaeger?
Yes.
Are you saying that
I
because you
made a
like
drink
Jaeger,
that
or are you
had
saying that
no,
because it goes with
no.
it?
I made a cocktail that was it was Jägermeister with pineapple, lime, and maple syrup.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Okay, I don't hate it then. So lime juice, pineapple juice. Don't bother with the sweetener. Coca
Yeah.
Cola,
Yeah.
and it's
Is
like a
this going to
navy
be something
grog,
that we're
but
going to
it's
like build and stir, or are we going to shake and then
the navy grog
incorporate the
is shake and strain, top with club soda.
Yeah.
So I think you would shake all of the ingredients apart from the Coke, and then top it with Coke,
Yeah.
basically. Um, Garnish wise, glassware wise, and
A
stuff like I
knife.
guess like the navy grog is over the navy grog one because that's what we're using as the base for it, right? Is rocks glass, crushed ice, grapefruit slice. I like the rocks glass crushed ice. I think
Yeah, that's nice.
that's pretty cool. It's weird with the cola, perhaps.
It's like a snow cone.
Yeah, I guess so.
I like that.
Yeah. And then you might be right. Just put a knife in it. Like this feels like a navy grog. This is like the opposite of the like the last one we made. It was like, well, if you don't usually like cocktails, maybe this would be a cool way to show you how cool mixology would be. And this one's like, oh, you like cocktails, do you, fucker? Try this.
You don't like this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's that? You're a bartender who'll drink anything. Oh, you'll drink anything, will you? Oh, here you go. Um, yeah. This is the grog around and find out.
The grog around and find out. Yeah, there we go.
Um,
Church it up a little bit.
very much a bartender's drink, I would say. 'Cause no one else is drinking it.
No.
What do you even
Yeah.
garnish this with?
Well, I
I'm
mean, you got
trying.
that ice cap and maybe a nice straw. I don't
I'm
know.
trying not to just put a lime wedge in it because that feels boring, you know. But and we don't do
Feels
boring.
disingenuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, a warning leaflet. It's. I guess there's a lot of herbal elements to this, right? Maybe you do like a rosemary sprig.
Why not? You've already got everything else in there.
Yeah, like
I feel like that would be like really overpowering. I'm already getting
that's
like
true. That's
rosemary on my
true.
nose and it's not even
That's
here.
true. That's true. That would be really on the nose, wouldn't it? Maybe something sweeter on the nose then.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna need
Um,
it.
yeah. Maybe,
Well, I mean, there's
maybe
already pineapple in there. We could do like a dehydrated pineapple wedge.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Pineapple wedge and maybe like a pineapple leaf as well.
Leaf. Yeah.
'Cause it's a tiki
Maybe
drink,
just the
right?
leaf.
Really,
Yeah.
just give it the tiki vibes. Like a pineapple wedge with like pineapple leaves behind it. Maybe two,
You
just to
know,
make it.
I'm not thinking a rocks glass. Maybe we need to put it in one of those like naked tiki little dudes as the
Yeah,
glass. Just really
yeah. Or like, what's the most bartender glass you could put it in?
a beer bottle.
True. That would be kind of funny actually.
Right?
But just put it in a beer bottle. And then, like, instead of a garnish, you don't really need a garnish with a beer bottle. The whole appeal of it is the bottle, and you
Hmm.
like get like printed labels for it. We've
Yeah.
again at NQ where I work now. We've got a cocktail called the Quick Revive, which is based on the perk from Call of Duty, and that does get a fizzy component added, uh, even though it goes in the bottle. So it would be quite easy to do
Hmm.
with this, really. The numbers overall, I'd say, are a little bit smaller, so maybe we need to bear that in mind with the recipe. But we shake all the ingredients except for the like, it's like a blue lemonade we use. We shake all of them except for that. Add that once we've shaken it and separated off the shakers, we add it to the shaker and then Hawthorne strain it in. So that we're not trying to like, although you could just top it, I guess, but so that when you're drinking it from the bottle, you're not just getting the blue lemonade and then the rest of the drink, you know?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and it works pretty well. And basically, those bottles, we have like stickers that we put on the bottle, so it says like Quick Revive. It's like the little logo, you know. I reckon we get a beer bottle and just put like the skull and crossbones,
Yeah. Yes.
call it the
Yep.
grog around and find out. Serve it with a
Yes.
straw.
Yeah.
There you go. Like a long
That,
straw, so it doesn't fall in, you know.
a very long straw. Yes.
Okay, so numbers wise, I'm trying to think with that
Lots.
one in terms of it fitting in the bottle. We do 125 ml in the shaker, and then give or take, I think it's about 25 ml of the blue lemonade. So you're looking at about 150 ml of liquid total for the bottle. I don't know if that sounds.
A little bottle.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they are quite thin bottles, I guess. Maybe we could. It's like the thinner ones, you know what I mean, rather than like the big chunky ones.
Sure.
Um, I guess I don't need to be too careful with the numbers. Actually, I still wouldn't put 90 ml of alcohol in it like the Navy Grog does. I think that's
Chicken.
insane, regardless. But like, well, you know what? Yeah, I suppose we're making it for bartenders. Maybe we want it to be
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you know what? Grog it. Let's put let's put 30 ml dark rum, 30 ml yellow chartreuse,
30 mil
30 ml.
Jägermeister.
This is an expensive drink. This is cost. Um, 30 ml Jägermeister, and then I'm not doing 22 ml. Respectfully, that's stupid. I don't know why that was a thing we did before. 20 ml lime, 20 ml pineapple. Shake, strain, top with soda. The top with Coke, sorry.
Yes. Coke. Yep.
Or potentially put the Coke in the shaker like we do with, just to kind of like allow the pouring, you know. It obviously, like, pouring it through the Hawthorn, it kills a little bit of the carbonation, but not much. It still like maintains a pretty good fizz when it's in the bottle. So
Yeah.
it sounds
That
painful, and I like it.
yeah, no. It is. It does sound painful. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd say
Two very different drinks again.
yep. Certainly two very different drinks. One with a daisy build, caviar, and built in a way that a general public could really get into it easily, and one that is designed to kill you.
Ugh, rough.
Yeah. It could be worse.
Well,
There are worse things we could have put in that.
I mean, there are.
There
Could
aren't
be
many, but
Malort.
yeah, that's true. There are certainly, we could have put Ancho Reyes in it, like,
Ugh,
yeah. But you know what? I'd try it.
I would too. I see the Jägermeister and I'm
Yeah,
instantly intrigued.
yeah. I think it's a really like. I think. I think in previous episodes we've maybe made nicer drinks, but I think one thing we really hit
Maybe.
on this is the intrigue.
Yeah.
The others
Well,
have been
that's
like, oh, that's
definitely
kind of a
intriguing.
cool drink. Both of them on today's, it's like, oh,
Oh.
interesting.
Oh.
Okay, how does that
Yeah.
work? And then you drink it, you know? These are like these are ones that if they work are really, really cool ones to have on the menu. Some of the previous ones we've made, I'm so confident that just from the recipe it will work really well. That like it would take pretty minimal testing. I'm less confident
I'm
with these
severely
ones.
less confident.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe they're good. Could be a diamond in a rough.
maybe you know what? Maybe when we if we manage to try some of these, maybe these are some of the ones we choose.
Maybe.
Or maybe not.
Maybe.
We'll see. But that is all we have time for today.
Yeah.
We will, by the sounds
We
of it,
survived.
see you next week.
Yeah. Yes.
Contrary to our own belief earlier on in the episode. I don't know how we got so confused with that. I think it's just been such a busy couple of weeks that we've been.
Counting is hard.
Yeah. So next week will be the season finale.
Yes.
I won't spoil what we're talking about yet, but
It's gonna be a
I'm
good one.
excited. Yeah. Thank you for listening or watching on whatever platforms you did. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll be posting the videos on there and maybe some extra content between the series breaks, but that's spoilers. Make sure you rate us 5 stars and follow us on Spotify so you can get all of our episodes there. I've seen some of the support for this so far. It's been really nice. So
Yeah, thank
I
you
have a
so
lot of
much.
fun making it, and it's nice that people can enjoy it. So yeah, until next week, I'll see you later. Bye
Take
bye.
care, y'all.